hear or when they have heard? When they hear, receive the word. Or when they have heard the word. Let me just go through and see if the style is always different. Mark, when they have heard, this happens. Such as hear the word. Such as hear. Okay, so it starts out in Mark, when they have heard. Or when they have heard. And then it goes on, such as hear. Such as hear. Luke, they that hear. When they hear. When they have heard. Having heard. So Luke changes it every single time. Matthew, when anyone hears. He that hears. He that hears. He that hears. Okay, so Matthew is pretty much always he that hears present. Luke is always different. They that hear. When they hear. When they have heard. Having heard. So having heard is past. When they have heard, past. When they hear, present. They that hear, present. Oh man. Luke eventually starts moving more towards the way Mark has it. When they have heard. When they have heard. This is the only one where it's just when they hear. So I'm not going to stick with Luke because he's always changing. Yeah, I like it when you're explaining different categories of actions. When, as a result, there are different types of responses, to keep all the language the same except for the single variable and then the single reaction. It would be looking at it scientifically. You're not going to have a different kind of experiment with different kinds of variables in order to figure out the results of one variable. So I would like to keep all these words the same. That way it's very clear the one thing that's different here results in the one change at the end. Then for this third instance, one new thing happens. All the rest of the words are the same. One new response happens at the end. So I'd like to keep them all the same as much as I can. So I don't like how Luke does it, changing the sentence every single time. Let me read just so that you see what I'm talking about. Those by the wayside are they that hear. They on the rock are they which when they hear. And that which fall among thorns are they which when they have heard. Again, it's different. Last one. But that on the good ground are they which in an honest and good heart, having heard the word, keep it and bring forth fruit with patience. It's different every time. Matthew is pretty much the same every time, except he has it singular. He, when one person hears. When anyone hears the parable of the kingdom and understands it not, this is he which received seed by the wayside. But he that received the seed into stony places, the same is he that hears the word and anon with joy receives it. Yet has he not root in himself. By and by he is offended. He also that received seed among the thorns is he that hears the word. But he that receives seed into good ground is he that hears the word and understands it. It's very simple in Matthew. Mark is half and half. It starts out the same way and then it ends in a different two ways the same to themselves. I know I want to go with the plural because Mark and Luke are plural. But I want to go with the similar style of laying out the causes and effects, which are only Matthew and Mark. So I'm pretty much going to stick with Mark now. At least the style of Mark. And when there's extra information, I will include that. But it's going to read mostly like Mark. These are they, likewise, which are sown on stony ground. The same are they, who when they have heard the word, have heard the word, such as hear the word, such as hear the word. So, yeah, Mark, the result is such as hear the word, this happens for the last two, but the first are when they have heard the word. When they have heard. The same are they who, Matthew, hears the word. But it's already plural, so I can't put hears. I'm going to put the word. Mark, have heard the word. Luke, which when they hear. When they hear. So I could do that, but again, Luke is always different. So I'm going to stick with the similar style, which is Mark. Have only from Mark. And then heard, which is also only from Mark. Here is in Luke. I could say the majority of that word here is in Luke. Okay, have heard the word. They hear, receive the word with joy. What Matthew says, hear the word and receive it. So I can say they hear the word and receive it. Or from Luke, receive the word. And Mark, when they have heard the word, receive it. So Matthew and Mark say, heard the word, receive it. Luke says, when they hear, receive the word. So I'm going to go with the majority witness, Matthew, Mark, the word. These words are also in Luke, so I'll say it's gray. It's just out of order according to Luke. Receive the word with joy. That's all that's left. Receive with joy. Matthew, and anon with joy receives it. Receives. I know I'm going to use receive singular from Mark. Immediately. And anon. Okay, anon is underlined and note means immediately. I think I used that word some other time, but I don't know if I had the option to just use the word that it actually means, and is much more commonly used nowadays, immediately. So I'm just going to use that, immediately, from Mark. Immediately receive it with gladness or with joy. Receive it. I can't have the and from Matthew because it's more simplified in Matthew. But there's more going on because I include Luke and Mark. The same are they who, when they have heard the word, immediately receive it. I can't put are they who, when they have heard the word, and immediately receive it. No, so I'm leaving out that and. Immediately receive it with gladness. Luke says, receive the word with joy. So Matthew and Mark say joy, I'll say that. But I am going to go with immediately instead of and immediately. Immediately receive it with gladness. I'm going to go with joy. So it would be receive it with joy. Luke says receive. I already used the word, so I'd say it with joy. Receive it with joy. Matthew, with joy, receives it. So should I say receive it with joy or with joy receive it? I want to save with joy for the end because that's how Mark and Luke has it, and I think it makes a bit more sense. Immediately receives. Should I say it's the same? Should I say that word is in Matthew? Yeah, I will. Or should I? I can't remember. I don't really have a rule for this. I think I've done this before. I just forget what my reasoning was for saying I am going to put that word there. Yeah, I think I will. This is all three. Receive. Without the S at the end from Matthew. Luke doesn't have it. Receive the word with joy. There's no it here. There is in Matthew. Receives it. Receive it. So this is Matthew, Mark. It. With joy. With joy from Matthew. Luke. With joy. Yeah, so it's all three.